label myself as pansexual.
Straight, I think.
Total freaker.
Yeah.
Well, on the Kinsey scale, I'm all the way at one end, and I am totally content with that. There's a reason that we stole the word gay from the English dictionary.
Categorized as gay.
Oh, well then straight.
Faggot.
Straight white girl. I don't know, this is hard. It means it's like, you know, love is everything.
It's a twisted thing, actually, because the first thing that comes to mind is completion. You can love somebody, you can be in love with somebody, you can love somebody unconditionally.
It's pretty much why there is life. It's a really huge question.
You know, something special that you can't find very often, but if you do, you know, you really know about it.
Love is kind of a dichotomy. It's elusive, and yet it's also ever present.
Negative connotation with it, I guess, usually.
I'm unashamed of showing love in public whatsoever, and I'm often naked, and I have no shame about my body either.
I'm probably subconsciously more comfortable, maybe.
When don't ask, don't tell was the policy, I thought, well, if I ever get drafted, you know, well, how do they feel about not just asking or telling, but advertising?
Sometimes I'm a little more conservative than others.
Extremely conservative.
I'm actually from the country, so it's something that I would probably avoid back home.
To me, love means it's not a definable thing, and it's not something that can be just one thing. It's like a feeling and an underlying respect.
I'm really big on love. It what drives me, actually. Not just love in a relationship, but just love for people in general.
I don't know how to explain love. It's just that ridiculously ridiculous feeling that you get when that's love.
I've been labeled as lesbian, and I don't define myself that way. I date a girl and I love her to death, and that's all that matters to me.
I feel like I kind of labeled myself in high school because I didn't know what else to say. I don't necessarily like the word lesbian. It kind of sounds like a disease.
We're afraid you're being influenced by a way of thinking, an unnatural. Do you remember the woman on TV?
Honey, we think you're a lesbian.
The word lesbian is a lot more gross than actually being a lesbian, because being a lesbian is awesome.
I don't like to be put in a box. It puts restriction on you, and then people can't see you doing other things, or people just see you one way because they labeled you this certain way, so they only expect you to do this certain thing, and it's like, that's not who I am.
I don't know if stereotyping can be eliminated completely, because I think it's natural for humans to want to categorize. By having like a respect and an underlying appreciation for people, the way that we categorize can be more like compassionate and understanding.
There's a lot of ignorant people out there, so unless we educate and change that, then I feel like that's not going to be possible for a while.
If people just sit down and just take the time to view a person and see how they are, or just whatever the situation is, that they can see that everything is not always the same.
I think people label different kinds of love out of fear and out of just maybe not even knowing. Trying to make sense of it, you just kind of have to make up your own way of defining it.
Putting a word on it is somewhat of an explanation when you don't have one. If it makes you uncomfortable, then maybe you need something to call it so that you can either accept it or make fun of it.
You shouldn't have no label. I just feel like love can go above and beyond.
My family has been, or has had a hard time accepting that I'm dating a woman at the present moment. In the beginning it was really hard. They felt like everyone was just leaving me or abandoning me.
I actually ended up transferring high schools because I got beat up a lot and I got pushed downstairs and food thrown at me. Even one of the security guards discriminated against this girl I was dating at the time. She came up to us and told us that we were sitting too close together when we were this far apart. And there was a straight couple making out with each other, like laying on top of each other, almost making babies on the lawn next to us. I grew up in a very conservative area.
If people don't take my relationship seriously, it doesn't offend me because I know what's true in my heart and that's all that matters.
I don't know, I guess it sucks, but I was also raised to just not care what other people think. Love is love and it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks about it.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna spend my whole life trying to prove to you that this love of ours is sincere, and if you don't believe it, oh well.
I've been in love twice.
Yes, I have. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, I'm in love right now. It feels complete.
Now I'm in love again, and I feel amazing.
It's like this high that you get, that you do not want to come down from.
I don't just get butterflies in my stomach, it's kind of just like all over my body.
Love him and love it. I don't care who knows it.
I think it's partly human nature to want to categorize people and to try to put people into boxes so that we can kind of make sense of who people are for ourselves. I think that we seek to validate ourselves as being okay by disrespecting someone else or pushing someone else down. I think that we fall into that trap quite a bit. Some of the stereotyping that we do has been drummed into us through the years. So we maintain certain stereotypes for certain groups of people, and I think oftentimes we don't think about that. Do I think that labeling the stereotypes can lead to oppression? I absolutely do. Because a lot of the stereotypes and labeling that we put on people, they come out of fear. We need to be willing to take a look inward at ourselves and look at the ways in which we have bought into stereotypes, whether they be about other people or about ourselves. I try to educate myself and others as much as I can. Sometimes I do that informally, just in regular conversation with people. I also am part of an organization that goes and teaches to different organizations, different schools, and different groups of people. I think that most people, given the opportunity and approached in a loving way, are willing to make those changes. Social change, happens very slowly over time, and I believe that it has to be done in love.
Typically the norm, I guess.
Swoop.
White girl? I don't know.
Challenging.
I don't adhere to any labels.
Awesome.
I guess if I was asked if I had a sign, I would say it's neon.
genuine.
Just a happy being.